Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up, 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 what up? It's Tud.
Okay, and also it's Obert. And the guys, the stars are out tonight. Do you hear that music playing? That classical piano? Do 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 da 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 da.
Are we starting a Final Fantasy game?
It's Oscars night today.
Oh.
Ooh, Oscars
Sunday.
night, yeah.
I totally went left. You guys all went right.
No, it's the Oscars. Everyone's there. They're all getting awards for their good movieing.
Yeah, they're all vying for that big golden man.
Yes.
Is this the Golden Man one?
Yeah, so funny story. Actually, that Golden Man's name is Tony, even though they give him away at the Oscars, not the Tonys.
What do
that
the
guy's
people
Tony.
get at the What do the people get at the Tonys?
They get a little, like a Muppet in a trash can. Yeah.
So what is the point of the Oscars?
So there's categories, right? They have like best cinematography, best actress, like wildest stunts, I think is one.
Oh, this is like the real one. This is like where people actually get like this is like the big one. Like whoever wins, like the best of the best is like truly the best of the best.
Yeah, you get to be, you then are Mr. Oscar for next year.
Right, yeah.
Right.
That's how it works. There is only one Mr. Oscar, and every
sometimes,
year...
Sometimes it's a Mrs. Oscar.
Oh, true, very true. But, well, regardless,
is she a grouch
though,
as well?
male or female, you are Mr. Oscar for 1 year.
Yeah. As long as you're the best, you Oscared the best.
If you were the best Oscar throughout the whole year. Imagine if that's what it was. It was just everybody in the world named Oscar. Whoever the best Oscar was.
I would love to see that award show where it's just everybody who's named Oscar gets into a room and they call up different Oscars to give speeches. And at the end of the night, they award Mr. Oscar.
No wonder the same guy always wins the Nobel Peace Prize because there's only one person named Nobel in the entire world. Yeah,
they had to retire the name after him.
And the winner is same guy as always. I actually put in. I was gonna offer my services because, and sorry for the folks at home because this is a medium of just voices. But watch, see this this normal envelope.
Yes.
Yep.
Watch me open it real quick though.
Whoa!
See?
Wow!
Wow!
You're a pro.
Tell you what, if I was flipping through the channels and I just saw somebody opening that envelope, I'd be like, I really need to know what that award is that he's reading off. So I think you could have done it. I think you could have been official envelope opener of the Oscars.
Do you? Think
I don't know. I wrote
I
tweeted.
Wait, I know what's in that envelope. Is that
what's in that?
Is that for the person with the sexiest voice on the Drinking Alone with Friends podcast? As it goes to Tud?
Out. Well, you can't. You don't have the envelope, so Chris has to read it. I
don't even need to know the envelope. I already know that I'm the winner, as told by many, many people over the past
Not
week.
many. There's
wait, that segue of yours was, what's in the envelope? Doesn't matter. I know what's in the envelope. I'm sexy voice. I'm sexy. Me, Todd equals sexy. Deal with it.
That's how the Oscars works. I mean...
Imagine if that's how the Oscars were. It's just the one that was most insistent that they won the award gets the award. Oh man,
I love it.
Well, I think we can all agree that the whoever won Best Oscar probably didn't deserve it, but that's the critics for you.
Mr. Oscar was so persistent, or Mrs.
I'm the Oscar. I'm Mr. Oscar.
Call me Oscar.
Well, like the person who opens, true or false, the person who opens the envelope at the Oscars, they can't win the Oscar, right?
I mean,
I think true. I don't know.
I feel like that's there's no rule saying that dogs can't play basketball kind of thing where, they might be able to.
Like if you were Leonardo DiCaprio going for Best Actor, and he was like, and the person who won the Best Actor is, and he opens it and says,
give him the envelope. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, no, probably not. Imagine how shocked he would be.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Like,
son of a bitch. Shouldn't have.
Yeah. Yes. Someone else with my name won this damn Oscar.
Or they just get pissed and they throw the envelope up in the air, flip off the crowd, and walk off stage.
Yeah. You don't deserve to know. What if they just said it was them anyway, regardless of what it actually said?
Yeah, but all right. Well, at least it's over. I don't know. I think I saw one movie this year. So
how was it?
It was good. I actually just rewatched it the other day.
What movie was it?
I hope it wins, because then I can be like, haha, I have good taste.
I love the idea that you saw one movie. You watched 2 feature-length films in this year, and you just decided to pick the same one twice.
Can we know what movie it was? So at least
we know what movie it was.
wins?
It was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
Yep,
that's right.
That's it.
What's going to win? That's going to win Best Picture. So
See?
I think
It's because I saw. It's because I saw
it's
it
the only
twice.
movie I think I've seen this year too, besides a couple other ones.
Yes. Besides those other movies, that was the only
Except for
one you
the
saw.
other movies I watched, yeah.
All right, we're getting crazy here, Todd. Mr. Sexy Voice. Why don't you describe to us a delicious beer that you're going to drink tonight?
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not drinking a beer.
Okay, sorry. Hashtag TudFit. I forgot.
Yeah,
How dare I?
Tudfit.
TudFit, The Journey Continues, the sequel.
Yep.
He's got for us tonight.
There's going to be more sequels to Tudfit than there are to James Bond.
We're going to run out of Roman numerals.
They're going to have to replace Tud partway through.
I really like Daniel Craig as Tud. I thought he did a really good job.
Everybody knows that that Sean Connery was the OG
the
Tud.
best. Yeah. He was the best
Tud.
Nobody's partial to Roger Moore?
Wasn't he Tud for like one movie? Or
I think a few.
Too much body hair on Roger Moore for my Tud.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, okay?
I don't. That's not how I picture my Tud. You know, like when I picture Tud,
picturing the wrong Tud.
How do you picture me completely hairless?
Me? No.
No.
So,
I'm talking about Obert.
So I see now you're wearing a t-shirt. You got a big beard on. I imagine from everything I can't see down, just zero hairs.
like a baby's bottom.
You're a seal, literally a wet seal from neck down. This has gotten crazy. I don't know how we got to this point. We're 10 minutes into the podcast. We're talking about wet seal Tud. Tud, tell us what you're drinking, please.
Yes. So I'm going to do a little throwback to my time in Tennessee at the end of the year last year, where we went to Old Glory Distilling.
Ooh, nice.
And I really wanted to bring something back to talk in the pod about, but they don't sell a lot of their liquors in take-homeable containers. By take home, I mean airplane worthy containers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's either you get little nips or you get like a handle or something like that.
Yes, yeah,
nothing in between.
So I bought the Smooth Shine Blueberry Lemonade Moonshine. It's a little nip. It's 1 ounce, and I thought I'd bring it on the pod and give a review of it. I had the Moonshine when we were there. The regular Moonshine. The Moonshine was really good. They told me that the blueberry lemonade was something completely unique. I'm having a hard time talking today, guys. I'm sorry. So let's try it out.
Yeah, they do this with a couple different varieties of it too. They have this. They had an apple cinnamon smooth shine as well, which is pretty solid. There's been a couple that they had, but I'm curious to see. What.
Yeah.
Tud
okay. So
thinks
first sip is the shock, right? What's the shock?
No, there was no shock. This is like juice.
Okay.
Is there alcohol in this?
This is dangerous moonshine.
It's only 35 proof, so it is a little light.
Oh, okay, that is light. Yeah, I didn't realize how light it actually was.
I was expecting triple that.
But I mean, it still is 15.5% alcohol, so it's still a lot of booze in here. But this
pro tip for listeners: proof is 0.5%. Every proof is so. If it's 20 proof, it's 10% alcohol.
Yeah, we probably should report back why the world decided to do proofs that way versus just doing percentages for everything.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. Maybe we should bring it to the podcast.
Yeah. Not today.
No, not today.
So, yeah, this is really good. This tastes like blueberry lemonade. It's smooth. It's delicious. It's probably nutritious because it's probably got some vitamins from
fruit
the blueberries.
In it, right?
Yeah, from the fruit.
Do you get more blueberry or more lemonade? Didn't you do blueberry lemonade 2 weeks ago?
No, raspberry lemonade. And that was seltzer.
Excuse me.
That was seltzer.
How dare I?
I get a lot of blueberry with a little bit of lemonade. I think the lemonade adds more of the sweetness to it, so it makes the blueberry flavor seem more sweet.
Interesting. I would have thought you would have gotten the bitter from the lemons, but not really.
Well, blueberries are naturally a little bitter too.
True.
I really like this. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Very nice. Yeah, it's a good one. And
And I'm going to put a request in. I want you to send me a bottle of this next time you send me something.
Well, you might be out of luck. I don't think they do that year round. It might have been like a summer thing.
Go find it for me right now.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I hadn't been there in a couple.
All right,
weeks,
thanks for listening, folks. Chris has got to go, but it's been real fun recording the podcast. Follow all of us, and you know the rest.
Listen to the sound of the sexy voice. It compels you to go get me more.
That doesn't work on me.
Don't hypnotize the audience, Chris.
The power of Todd compels
They're probably
you.
driving. You can't hypnotize people while they're driving.
So just for the listeners at home, that is in true Tud fashion, just over one large ice cube, correct?
Yes, it is one large circle ice cube.
All right.
And it is delicious. This is going to be gone before someone else reviews their beer.
What if it was a large square ice cube?
I have those as well.
Okay.
I had
just swirl them as well, though.
Right. Well, I had you can swirl around the glass, but I had just filled up that ice cube tray, so they weren't ice cubes yet. So I had to use my one circular ice cube.
Okay, there you go. It's a backstory, the origin story.
Of the origin ice story. So who's going next?
I'll go. I have a new brewery, relatively new brewery, here in the Flathead Valley to bring to the podcast. I have Sunrift Brewing Company. They are 9 months old. I just went there today, actually, and I picked up this growler to take back. This is the Supernova. It's a Belgian triple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can see I have it here in a snifter glass. It's a nice amber color.
Is it warm?
I've been letting it rest. I think I probably poured it about half an hour ago.
Okay.
It's not as warm as I think it deserves to be. I should take the rest of the growler out of the fridge, actually. But let's dive into it. I definitely get that a little bit like that banana aroma you get from triples. You know, you get that fermenting fruit.
Yeah, like
scent.
that rotten banana smell.
I didn't want to say rotten.
Fermenting
is polite way to say.
But for the average Joe listener who doesn't know what you're talking about when you say fermented, it's really like if you picked up with a rotten banana and sniffed it, that's what it smells like.
Imagine, I want all listeners to close their eyes, unless you're driving. Visualize the blackest banana you've ever seen with fruit flies buzzing all around it. Just take a big whiff. That's what this beer smells like.
Sounds delicious. That's why I love Belgians.
So as I taste this, I definitely get those decomposing fruit flavors. I get the wild yeast.
I taste death.
Yeah. I taste bad fruit. Yeah, that wild yeast. It's a typical Belgian triple. If you've ever had anything from Allagash, who does triples pretty well up in the Northeast, you'd be familiar with what this beer tastes like. As I discovered back in episode 19-ish, I'm the only one who likes Belgians on the pod. So I feel like it's a little bit of my duty to bring them here.
Yeah, so you probably won't catch me drinking many of them.
Yeah, so that's why I had to go, when I saw on the tap list today, why I had to go with the Belgian triple. And I'm glad I did, because I think this clocks in around 9%, maybe 8.5-ish, if I remember correctly. It's a very dry beer, dry finish. Like most Belgians, you're not going to get a lot of hop aromas or flavors. I rated this a 4.0 because I like Belgians, and I think this is a good example of Belgian. It's not knocking it out of the park in the Belgian category. I like my Belgians a little bit more of that unfiltered yeast. But yeah, good enough to give it a 4, definitely.
Now, do you have a 5-star rated Belgian? Okay,
I do not.
Booker T.
I do not. I think if I ever was to have one, it would probably have to be in Belgium at a Trappist Monk brewery. The full experience. I think if I ever went there, that would almost certainly be a 5-star experience. Maybe 4.75.
So if you ever end up going to like Chimay or something like that,
yeah,
they might be able to woo you into a 5-star.
Yeah, I think a big part of it would be the experience. But
so I will say, as much as I shit on Belgians, there is a place, I think I've mentioned it on this pod before, in New York City called the Burp Castle. And it's literally, you walk in there and it's set up to be like a Trappist type situation. So it's a whisper bar. You're not allowed to talk above, talking like this to your person next to you.
That's interesting. It's a library, basically.
Yeah, and it's, it's on, It's on East 7th Street. It's on the same road as McSwirly's, just a couple buildings down, but it is completely silent. It's the only place in New York City you can go and like actually hear yourself think as you're sitting in a bar. It's actually really good.
Todd, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but if I had to think of the list of the people who I would be least likely to invite to a brewery or a bar where you can't speak loudly, you'd be near the top of that list.
Listen, I love it there. The bartender who's always there knows Caitlin and I because we've been there a few times and we got engaged on the first time we ever went there, so she knows us by face. And she's awesome. And that's great. She lets us talk at normal volume and yells at everybody else. We've been back like 3 or 4 times.
So you don't have to abide by the library laws.
So everyone else there knows you too, is what you're saying.
Todd is above the rules. I mean,
that's what we're learning.
It's the sexy voice.
So, in other words, I'm completely justified by saying you'd be one of the last people to invite to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a question for you.
Who?
For you
okay.
About that library beer place. Is their tap list all done by the brewery decimal system?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's your dad joke of the pod right there.
This dad joke was brought to you by Chris, dad of the pod.
I did it. Hashtag dad of the pod.
You're the only one who can make that claim.
That's true.
As far as I know. Obert?
I do like that. I do really like that name. No, as far as I know, he's the only one who can make that claim too. I do like that name, the Burp Castle, though. I think that's a good name for a bar.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Yeah,
and everything is a Trappist beer. Some of their beers are pricey, like $35 a bottle. Others are cheap, like $11 a bottle.
Yeah. No, we should tell our listeners if they ever find themselves in New York and they go into the Burp Castle, be like, "Hey, do you know this guy who doesn't abide by your rules and talks loudly?"
Pull up a picture of me and be like, "Do you remember?" Me and Caitlin, and show them a picture and be like, "Do you remember these two?" You'll get taken care of. Just
a podcast sent me here. Yeah. That's great. So, Chris, you must be getting thirsty.
I am, yeah. I'm pretty excited about this beer.
Let's just talk about something else so he can't drink.
It doesn't matter. I'm going to talk over you. I edit, so I can just do whatever I want. So this one, it's a brewery that I didn't even know existed. So I was walking through my favorite establishment for beer, and I found this Mantra Artisan Ales. And this is their Imperial Guru Gish, which is an imperial stout with caramel, vanilla, and peanut flavorings.
That sounds really good.
It sounded enticing. So let's crack this bad boy open. If I could get my...
Now, I have never heard of this brewery before either. Are they a Tennessee brewer?
They are. They're out of Franklin, Tennessee, which if you're listening from Tennessee, it's like right outside Nashville. And I don't know a ton about them, if you can't tell, because I found out that they existed today.
Yeah,
but,
looks like Ted needs to get more drink.
Is he already out?
He is out. He's very sad about it.
It's a small.
I'm very upset.
Small nip.
The power of Todd's voice compels you to go there tomorrow.
It doesn't, though. How about that? I think they're open every day of the week, though.
Hey, I got you that beer that you say that you claim you can't find in Tennessee.
So I was at my favorite place today, and granted, I didn't look specifically for it, but I didn't see it, and I would have been like, "Hey, I need this." So reading up a little bit about Mantra, basically, some folks from Tennessee were like, "Hey, let's make a brewery." So one of them ended up living in Colorado for a bit and was a brewmaster of a local brew pub. And the other guy, Chad went to a professional brewing program in Berlin, Germany. So when they came back to Tennessee, they decided to open up this brewery. And like I said, that's first time I heard of it. Yeah. So here it is, nice and dark, as you would expect.
Wow, that is very dark.
Yeah, the SRMs are like 4.2 billion. So it's pretty smart, pretty dark. So smelling it, you can tell it's sweet. I get a lot of the peanut flavoring more so than anything else. Maybe a little bit of like that stereotypical milk stout smell.
Yeah.
But let's see what this tastes like. According to what I'm reading, it says that it's it tastes like a rich, decadent candy bar. So let's see how.
Oh boy.
Let's see how it holds up.
So it looks like it's gonna be delicious. As you're tilting that, it looks like the head's staying on the glass really well. Hopefully, it tastes like a decadent candy bar, because that would put that up there, one of the better stouts that we've had on this pod so far.
Oh, we've had a lot of good stouts on this pod.
Yeah, but this one seems unique.
Mm.
Most of them have, like that smoky back to it. This one seems like it's going to be different. This is not Tud Cleo speaking, by the way, as you can tell, because that was not nearly involved enough for that.
By the way, okay, let's hear Chris's review of this beer, and then I want to talk about Tud Cleo from last episode.
So it's good. It's definitely smooth, but it's got a bit of a kick to it because it is 10% alcohol, and it hides it a little bit with some of the flavoring, but it's still 10% alcohol. So it's going to be kicking myself in the butt in a minute. So it's probably a little cold, to be honest. I had it in my fridge, so I don't think I let it sit enough, because when I taste it right now, I get like your milk stout, and then I get like caramel and peanut more so than the vanilla right now.
Okay.
Right. I could see that.
I feel like it would almost bridge it, like that vanilla would like bridge the gap better between the two.
It'll mellow out as it warms up. I could see that.
Because right now it almost tastes like as though there's like just too much going on. Like it's just trying to be all these. I mean, it's not bad, but I for what I was reading, I was hoping it was going to be, a little bit more light. Maybe if it weren't the Imperial, maybe if it was just the regular Guru Gish, it might have been a little bit, what I was expecting, or if it was warmer. So, I mean, I'll keep you guys posted on the rest of the episode.
I was going to say, is there a chance that you let it sit out and wait for it to get warmer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to chug a 10% beer right now, but I mean, it's a solid beer, for something that I just happened to see and pick off the shelf. I definitely get why they called it a decadent candy bar, because it is very sweet. Probably not something that you would want to drink more than one of.
Right.
And I could tell that at the normal one, if it was 6.8% alcohol, it would be very sweet too, because it didn't have time to ferment to that Imperial style alcohol. So you're going to get a lot of that residual sugar still in there.
Yeah, that's
very
true.
Good point.
Yeah.
So Todd gave his a 4. I gave mine a 4. What are you thinking for yours?
I'm gonna be the Obert this time. So right now I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Because it's just, like I said, it's not bad. I'm gonna drink the rest of the 4-pack, but I feel like they're trying too much at once, and maybe it'll mellow out as it gets warmer. We'll have to find out though. So 3.5 from Mantra Artisan Ales, the Imperial Guru Gish.
So I listened to last episode when it got released.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I couldn't help but listen to Tud Cleo, and I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. You were pretty spot on. I thought you did a good job. And
thank you.
I expected Tud Cleo to be Jamaican, though. I don't know why, maybe because Cleo's in the name, but I definitely expected a little bit more Jamaica Mon in your Tud Cleo.
Yeah, if I attempted to do that, I feel like it would take away from some of my effort of trying to pull the flavor from the ethos, because I'd be concentrating too much of my brain on trying to make my voice sound Jamaican.
Okay.
So we're just not even going to go to the Jamaican part. And if you look it up, Miss Cleo was a complete fraud, and she really didn't have a Jamaican accent either.
Yeah, but you're not a complete fraud, so...
Right.
Well, I was going to say you could be just as much of a fraud with the fake accent. She set the precedent. Like, she got away with the fake accent, so I think you can too.
She eventually got sued for millions of dollars, so I don't know how much she got away with.
So she didn't get away with it, so good call not doing the accent, is what I meant to say.
Right.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, no, it was... he's been, like, oddly spot on with some of this stuff, so it's been... I mean, obviously, the beer spirits are speaking through him, so it's not like,
right.
He's just the vessel for them to convey their message, but...
So they said toffee, I said toffee, and Obert said toffee. I mean, we got it.
We all know that ESP stands for extrasensory perception, and it's when you have these feelings that you can't ascribe to any other sense. I feel like Todd has extra tastery perception, where maybe we're so closely linked as friends that he can just a little bit taste what we're tasting. I think that might be part of the explanation.
So is that ETP?
Yeah, I think he's got the ETP.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The science is all there.
Yeah, right? You can't argue with the science.
It says I can't.
Todd, I don't know if you've updated your resume lately, but I think there's under skills and talents, you have a new thing you can put there.
Just put ETP and leave it alone, and let them ask me about what it means.
So it says here that you have ETP. What is that?
Oh, good question. Do you have a beer?
Drink some.
Sir, you can't drink during this interview. I'm not going to. You're going to.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, I appreciate the ETP. I'm looking forward to hearing more of it in future Ted Cleo segments.
Yeah, when
absolutely.
the moment strikes, I will unleash Ted Cleo again.
Yeah. So I just realized I didn't tell you guys about Sunrift, because I said I went there, but I didn't really get into it that much.
I thought that was the end of the story.
Yeah, I know. You told us all about a beer you had from them, but you didn't tell us about the brewery.
No, I went there today. It's right near the mall in Kalispell. I've been once before for a half pour of their Sunrift IPA, which I think is their best beer. It's a good, maybe not New England style, but a nice, very hoppy IPA. It's flirting the line with New England style.
Okay.
So would you give it like a 4.25 then?
No. I would say 3.75.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But you just rated their beer.
Yeah, you know, I had this conversation earlier. And I held different styles to different levels, right? Like, I love IPAs, therefore that would be one of my favorites. But even though I've had a lot better IPAs than that, if that makes sense. Belgians, this is a 4 for being a Belgian.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I just give me a hard time.
No, I knew where you're going with it, and I had the debate too when I was rating them. But it's really cool. It's a little tiny spot. They have garage doors, so in the summer they can open them up and just have the tasting room open to.
Oh, that's really cool.
To
I like that.
The public. Yeah, it is really cool. Even though it was like 15 today, it was still warm in there. I was worried with the garage doors it would be kind of drafty, but no, it was good. Yeah, I played some cribbage in there. It was fun. It's a cool environment. I know Chris likes to play cribbage as well.
Yeah, I love cribbage. Yeah.
Yeah, I won. I should point that out.
Of course.
Yeah. But they have a little outdoor...
I don't know how to play cribbage, just an FYI.
All you have to do is say 15 and then even numbers. So you'd be like 15-2, 15-4, 15-6, and then you just move a peg. That's all.
Yeah, but I don't know what that means.
No, it's just you just make it up. That's how it works.
Pretty much. And as long as you don't go over 29, not many people will be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they bought the neighboring building, and they're planning on expanding to getting a real liquor license where they can sell mixed drinks and wine. And in the summers, they want to have
those damn fake liquor licenses.
Yeah, all they can sell is their own beer right now. They want to expand to selling everything. And in the summer, they want to do outdoor music and just make it a cool environment, which I'm really excited for because they, like I said, they bought their neighboring building. They're expanding a lot. I really want to see Sunrift do well. Even though it was kind of quiet today, I think it's a really neat spot, and I'm definitely looking forward to going back.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I love those. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but I love those kind of places. Those like small, you can basically walk in and talk to the owner whenever you want kind of places.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And granted, it's a Sunday, so they were a little quieter, but it was good. And now, Ted, you went to some breweries this weekend as well, right?
Yeah. So one of our mutual friends, Nick Adams, turned 31.
Would you say he's a friend of the pod?
I would say he's a friend of the pod.
Yeah, he's a friend of the pod.
I don't know if he's listened to every episode, but he promises.
Sorry, former friend of the pod.
Enemy of the pod.
Okay, got it. Glad we're on the same page.
So he turned 31 this weekend, and
happy birthday, Nick!
Yeah, happy birthday, Nick. Obert.
Go on,
Obert. Wish Nick a happy birthday.
Nick. I'm happy that you turned 31, but I just realized how much closer that makes me to my inevitable death. So 30 was okay. 31, man. Then you're like in your 30s. You know, you're not just 30.
So it's not a happy birthday, Nick. It's a fuck you, Nick.
Fuck you, Nick. Thanks for listening to some of our episodes, but you're still an enemy of the pod. Continue.
There you go. Hang out with Blevin.
Yeah.
So anyways, we went to Black Hog and OEC, and then a place called Pies and Pints for his
Pizza
birthday.
Or fruit pies?
So that's what I thought too. They're a full scale restaurant, so they do everything. But it's a pizza restaurant. I was a little upset that there was no like real pie. Tina was also upset that there was no real pie. So
Tina hates pie.
she just thought, but her initial thought was like,
there should be pie.
There should be pie, and there should be
Yeah.
pints. Not pizza pies and pints. There should be pies, like blueberry and rhubarb and pumpkin.
That would not be my first go-to if I heard pies and pints. I think I've been to, it's a chain, right? It's not a...
It's a Connecticut chain, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've been to a pies and pints before. And
so you were already
even when I heard of it, I wasn't like,
pie.
oh man, I can't wait for an apple pie and a stout.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think it'd be weird too, as like it's a weird combination, and it makes sense.
Pizza and beer?
No. I think it'd be weird if it was like fruit pies and beer. But at the same time, I was a little disappointed that they did not offer.
You should have at least
any type of
pies for dessert. I agree. Just like Colchester Pizza's got the pies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Two Brothers.
They have pie there too?
Two Brothers has some banging pie.
They do. Two Brothers is awesome. Actually, I've been thinking about Two Brothers a lot recently. Like, damn it, I missed that place.
So we went to Black Hog, and Black Hog was really popular. Like, it was busy as all could be yesterday. Their beer's okay.
Sure. Where's Black Hog?
It's in Oxford.
Okay.
Their beer is beer, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's nothing special, but it's not like drain pourable.
So it's in the low threes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think I rated everything there, 3.25 and below.
Oh, okay.
They had one that was called a Citra Sparkler, which is like their Brut IPA, and for people on keto, Brut IPAs are brewed to where all the residual sugar is brewed out of the beer. So it technically, using air quotes, is a keto-friendly beer.
Yeah, that sounds like an oxymoron, but
right.
Sure.
Well, because the yeast literally eats all the sugars and all the carbs out of the beer.
It's just alcohol.
You're left with alcohol.
Okay.
It was only 2.2%. It tasted like a seltzer.
Oh wow, that's light.
Yeah, it was really light.
Sparkler in the name. I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, it was okay. I tried a sip of all the beer, so
that's the pregnant women and kids beer.
Right. We're not advocating for pregnant women to drink, by the way. We just have a friend.
Or kids.
Do your own research, pregnant moms.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was worse to apologize for the pregnant women comment.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, kids don't have their driver's license, so as long as kids aren't drinking and then getting behind the wheel, that'd be way worse.
Oh boy, we're going down a wrong path. So after Black Hog, we went to OEC, which I've talked about on the pod a few times, is a brewery that does nothing but sour beers. They also have guest beers in the brewery that are also sours as well. OEC is one of my favorite breweries in the state. Tried all their beers as well. Their beers are fantastic. Shout out to Tony, who is one of the brewers there, and Chloe, who is their horticulturalist, because it's such a unique brewery that they have a horticulturalist on staff.
What is she horticulture?
I don't know, and I didn't have enough confidence to. I didn't have enough confidence to ask.
I got a question for you. What does a horticulturist do?
They tend plants.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're at that base level. Okay. So did they have a lot of plants?
So I'm assuming that a lot of their beer has added spices and added berries and just additions that make it funky, for lack of a better term. That I'm assuming that that's what she does. Chloe, if you're listening to this, I did tell them to listen and they said they would. So Chloe, if you're listening to this, please drop us an email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. A, we'd love to have you on as a guest. And B, we'd love to know exactly what it is that you are horticulturing for OEC.
Hops.
Yeah.
But they don't have a hop field.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll never know unless Chloe.
So anyways, OEC is fantastic. I recommend everybody go there.
If you go there, find Chloe, ask her what she does.
Yeah, and then then
tell us.
One of the coolest breweries in the state. You talk about little places to go that are just unique. OEC is exactly that. Everything they do is just unique to their own situation. And they're considered either the second or third best sour brewery on the face of the planet. So that also really helps.
Yeah, I mean, OEC is just spectacular. Anybody who's listened to this, who listens to this podcast that has heard of beer has probably heard of OEC, just because they're well renowned and well sought after on the secondhand market. But yeah, they're
for people who
they're something
aren't
special.
Familiar with OEC, what does it stand for?
It's Latin.
Oh, so it's not okay. It's not like it's just known as OEC.
Yeah.
It stands for Order of Eccentric Brewers in the long, like when you translate
In
it from
Latin.
Latin to English.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
cool name.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. They do a lot of experimental stuff, like Ted was saying. So
And it heavily implies that they have a secret society at night. So that's
Correct.
also cool. I'm imagining lots of robes and candles and pentagrams. So that's pretty sweet.
And I will say, for anybody who sits there on this pod and says, I don't really like sour beers, trust me, I get it. Still go there and try it, because they have things that skew to be less sour. Like they had an English style porter that was a little sour, and I thought it was fantastic. I mean, my mouth is drooling thinking about taking a sip of it again. Just go check it out, everybody.
Yeah, that sounds worth it. I wish I could. Where is it? Oxford as well?
It is in Oxford as well. It's only 3 miles away from Black Hog.
So I thought the O in OEC stood for Oxford.
No, it's Ordenum Ascensory Coctores, which means Order of the Eccentric Boilers.
Very interesting. So let's leave it there. Chris, what is that? Is that I see the door to your mailroom is barely shut. It's bulging out. Oh, there we go. We have it. We have a letter.
I think we're gonna have to get to the point where you stop printing these out, so you actually
so
you actually have a house.
Save the environment,
No.
Chris.
Listen, I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
I'm dedicated to the bit. Okay. So we actually have a decent amount of listener mail right now. So I guess we'll just get into some. We'll start off with one from the beginning of February, and it's from friend of the pod,
Day.
Sal.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
not Blevin, right?
Not Blevin.
No.
God no. So Sal writes in and he said, someone got drunk over and over again to find the cure for the hangover. It's a book called Hangover, The Morning After, and One Man's Quest for the Cure by Shaughnessy Bishop Stall. He hasn't read it, but apparently he lost friends along the way who were tired of him being drunk all the time. So pretty good. It seems like it would be a good read. I might look it up on Audible, see if it's there.
Yeah. We'll put a link in our show notes to it.
Yeah, we'll do that. And then he also just made a quick side note. He said, non-alcoholic beer is significantly fewer calories. I think we talked about this on one of them, and are a decent enough substitute for a beer-loving pregnant wife. So, like we were saying, pregnant wives should not drink beer.
Unless it's non-alcoholic.
Unless it's non-alcoholic.
And 2.2%, I think, counts as non-alcoholic, if you have one.
And I do got to say, I don't think it's any less calories.
I mean, we learned when we were talking about how much alcohol is in vodka, or those vodka spiked seltzers, that alcohol definitely has calories in it. So I could see if you eliminate the alcohol from beer, you would eliminate some calories.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll accept your reasoning. Thanks, Alexa.
Oh, by the way, congrats, Sal. Good job having a baby.
Yeah, you did it. You did it right. That's how it's supposed to happen.
Congratulations. You completed the task.
Chris is a solid name for a kid. So,
so is Todd.
Friend of the pod.
Hashtag friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Just naming the kid DAWF podcast is a perfect name.
Do you think if your first name was hashtag, people would automatically ask what's your middle name?
Probably. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
So our next letter comes from friend of the pod, Brandon, and he says, "Hey guys, my name is Brandon, and he's finally caught up on the episodes. So as of the 21st of February, he will be able to listen on release day. So
awesome.
Yay!
Thanks,
Cheers
Brandon.
to that, Brandon.
Glad you're listening along with us. And you get all the inside jokes now.
Yeah, right. He did it right. He started from the beginning, and he understands all of the stuff. So he's loving the podcast, though. Learning some, which is always good. So he has a question for me, mostly, and a beer suggestion for me as well. So his question is, how do I think the beer culture in Tennessee differs from that in Connecticut? And maybe, Tud, since you've visited, maybe you can weigh in as well.
I've visited. I've been there.
No,
True.
we don't count that time.
True. He spent one drunken night.
Where does Brandon come in? Is he Tennessean who lived in Connecticut as well? Does he have any experience in either?
he is Georgian.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and he gets into this. He says he asked this because he's in grad school in Georgia, but he's writing a thesis about beer in Georgia and the difficulties that it has faced over time.
Very cool.
Interesting.
I like that.
Yeah, he lets us know.
I would read that.
What's
paper.
he going to school for? Do we know?
He didn't get that in depth. No, I don't ask for autobiographies when people write in, but
We'll just say beerology.
yeah, he's going to be a beerologist. And he says that apparently, and I didn't know this, apparently Georgia didn't get their first brewery until 1993, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So Brandon, we were actually just talking about this a little bit today. I feel like beer culture in Tennessee, at least, it's more of a tight-knit group than it was in Connecticut. Like, I go to breweries in Nashville or in Clarksville, where I live, and it seems as though they can be like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I was just at Tennessee Valley, for example, and they'll be like, oh man, those people are awesome. They helped us, set up our brewing system, or hey, they helped us with this, or they gave us some gift taps and things of that nature. It seems as though the community down here really cares about one another, and that sounds weird. Whereas in Connecticut, I didn't get that feeling as much, and maybe it's just because I wasn't doing a podcast. So,
see, I would disagree with that. I think the culture up here, people do care about each other up here. I think that we're just naturally less open, friendly,
maybe
something like that. I mean, Two Roads pretty much helps everybody under the sun that needs help. They're more than willing to go out of their way to make things happen for people. And if you talk to the culture, the personal culture, not the brewer's culture, but people who go to breweries in Connecticut, that's a very tight-knit culture up here, where once you meet somebody, they'll say, well, I know this person and I know this person, and all of a sudden 300 people because you met one or two people. That's how I got into it. I met a guy up in Vermont from Groton, and he got me into the entire Connecticut beer scene, and it was just, it snowballed from there. So I think there's a scene. I just don't think we're as openly friendly as the Southeast.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. And like I said, I mean, I've obviously been drinking. I mean, I say semi-professionally, but that's not true for like what? Oh man, is this episode 26? Holy shit, 6 months now. Wow. And
congrats on half a year, guys.
Yeah, hey, we made it.
Yeah.
We made it half a year. And I don't know, it's just now I go into breweries and like ask to speak to the brewers and the owners if they're there. Whereas in Connecticut, I would just be like, give me the beer, please. So I mean, I like the beer culture in Tennessee. I guess if that's the answer that you're looking for. It might not be, Brandon.
I'll sum it up in 3 words. I like it.
Yeah, 3 words. It do good.
Just like it.
Yeah. So Brandon, I hope we helped a little bit. Keep us updated. Thank you for listening, and your stickers are in the mail So,
and if your thesis gets published, we'll link to it when you tell us all about it.
Yeah, the beerologist.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
When you get your beerology degree.
Yeah, a doctor of beerology. Perfect. Cool. So we have another one, and I don't know, Todd, do you have this up right now or no?
Is this my favorite one ever?
This is yours. Yes.
If
you would like to read it. So we have a special email from Brianna who wrote in, and this is what prompted all of Todd's egomaniacal isms.
Yeah. So she says a lot of words.
She does. She does that.
She said that obviously she heard that we wanted people to email, so she wanted to send us an email. And she saw Chris on the Brew Lockers Instagram live feed, and then Chris obviously mentioned our podcast, and she listened to them all way past her bedtime, and she basically had to say that she was really impressed by my voice and thinks that I sound like a superstar. And
all right, Todd.
Yeah. I mean, she did say that I sounded like Dr. Drew's brother. I had to do a little bit of research to figure out who Dr. Drew was. Apparently, he's a famous doctor that's on TV. So,
well, yeah, but do you know his brother?
Well, she said I would be him.
Well, yeah, but everybody knows his brother is the sexier voiced one.
Well, right. I mean, that's clear. I listened to his voice. I do sound eerily similar, so that's
really
always good. She did say that she heard me say that Austin is the best beer city in the state of Texas, so she was going to research that. But she also heard you talk about Montana, and she said that she can appreciate a big sky, and are the stars incredible and plentiful? So that's a question for you.
That's a good question. And real quick, I will just say that the sky is so big here that to get some really amazing stars, you have to really drive a lot further away than in Connecticut, where there's so many trees, you can block out a lot of the light. So even though we have a much more open sky, you don't get as great stars unless you really, really go far away.
Oh, that's interesting. I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah. We do have northern lights here. I haven't seen them yet. It's on my bucket list for this summer.
Nice. And she also talks about how she's going to try the pour over coffee method. She did not respond to say whether she liked it or not. And then she said, the reason I'm here is because you said to say what up and tell you what we ate for breakfast. And she said, well, because it's 1:30 a.m., she ate just a bit, about approximately a pound of tortilla chips, plain, listening to us. She's not on keto, but she is a vegan, or mostly vegetarian person. And she wants to order that Chalk Zero that I was talking about a couple episodes, and thinks that we should probably include it in our raffle for 1,000 giveaway. I will include it in my giveaway for when we reach our next milestone after we reach 1,000. By the way, we still haven't reached 1,000, so people go on Instagram and like us.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what? Because I was such a big proponent of the toast gummies, maybe I should include one of them for our giveaway as well.
There you go.
I think that'd be good.
Go.
And then her final question was, how safe is it for thin people to be on the keto diet? It is completely safe. It's a standard diet without carbs. So as long as you're keeping your calories at what they say for your daily allotment, you're able to maintain weight on keto. So for skinny people, for fat people, for everybody, keto on.
Okay, well that was a great letter. I'm glad. It makes me.
I am happy that.
It makes me happy to. As much as I'm against general thoughts, that one made me glad we got a listener there. I'm glad that she enjoys the podcast so much.
Yeah. And I'm glad that she really likes my voice.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was too. Thanks.
No, not you. The letter was not your voice. I don't find your voice that lovely. So.
And then we had that other person on the Instagram Live.
That's enough. That's enough.
Smoking and
sweet. So, Obert, I do have one qualm that was given to me when I was on the Brewlockers Instagram Live, and it's something that none of us corrected. So, it's as much on Tud as it is you. But
nope, it's on Obert.
So during our Galaxy Hopped beer episode that we talked about a little bit, I think it was you, had mentioned that Elysian Space Dust had Galaxy hops.
That's not Galaxy?
It is not Galaxy.
No way.
I know.
That's mind-blowing to me.
I know. Me too.
That was the beer that got me into Galaxy hops.
It is not Galaxy.
Nope. I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it was, because it doesn't have Galaxy hops in it.
You don't think it was what?
I don't think it was the beer that got you in the Galaxy hops, because it doesn't have it.
No, I don't know. When I really enjoy that beer. For me, that's very closely linked in my mind to Galaxy. And now I have to go and do a long soul-searching walk in the woods to figure out if I like Galaxy as much as I think I did. This is a beer revelation for me. This is live on the podcast, mind blown. I can't believe
I did not drop this on him before this.
Yeah,
so.
Well, Chris, to be fair, keeps the mailbag under lock and key in his house. So,
you know what I will say, Chris? This just proves that Obert did not watch our Instagram Live on Wednesday.
I'm sorry. I meant to, but didn't.
So that was and I would have put money on it having Galaxy, but I've only had it a handful of times. So, but anyways, Obert, you find yourself. You go find yourself, because I have one more letter to get through.
Okay,
and this is from dawffan@gmail.com,
aka
who we've outed as friend of the pod, Dan. And he has a couple comments and ideas. Some of it editing that we had taken under consideration. Thank you for the feedback, of course.
I honestly think that it would be way too much work to try and edit all of Tud out of the podcast. I don't think we could really pull that off.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like we'd lose a few listeners.
Yeah,
smooth, sexy voice.
I agree. We would.
Yeah, that's why we keep you around. Apparently. So he did have a question for Tud, and it says, and I know you alluded to it in the beginning of the episode, but he says, "Why do you do the yo yo yo? It's your boy Tud now."
So I originally started it as a joke to see if I could get a reaction out of Chris and Obert.
And you didn't.
Yeah, and after they didn't, I just continued to do it. So it's become a thing.
Well,
now it's my thing.
I think everybody knows that's
your
the
thing.
first rule of comedy is if a joke doesn't land the first time, you keep doing it until it works.
Correct. I mean, eventually everything becomes funny if you do it enough.
Yep.
And you guys laughed today after I did the, what up.
Right.
So,
You know, this is a recorded podcast where we can go back and listen to the point where we can prove that neither me nor Chris laughed at that, right?
Oh, you did.
Okay, so anyways, he was wondering that, so we found out it's a classic comedy technique. So a few other questions that he had. Does he feel like we think there is room in craft brewing for light beers?
That's a very good question.
It is a very good question.
I don't think the answer is yes. What do you guys think?
I think there's a spot for it, but it has to taste good. Like, if there was a light beer right now, I'd be all about it because it'd be like, 5 grams of carbs and I could drink it on keto.
Yeah.
But it would have to taste, I want it to taste like a true beer. Like that Citra Sparkler from Black Hog, don't want it to taste like that.
Chris, what do you think?
Oh man, it's tough. I think you can't. I think I'm more on the side with Tud, and that doesn't mean that I will order them. I think it would be smart for craft brewers to make a light beer that tastes better than to have on tap, because you are going to have those guys and gals that like, hey, I drink Bud Light, and you could be like, well, this is like Bud Light but better,
but tastes better,
right? But tastes better.
Or you're like, hey, I in a few hours have to drive, and I'm going to drink one beer, and I want it to be a light beer.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed light as in like Bud Light,
right?
Versus like
low alcohol,
3 or 4% alcohol. Yeah.
Well, it's the same. I mean, it's the same thing. There's a reason that.
Well, not necessarily, because you can have a sour that's like 4% alcohol.
Yeah, light does not necessarily mean low in alcohol.
Yeah.
So here's my thoughts on the whole light beer thing. Light beer is really hard to make because any imperfections, there's so little flavor in a beer that any mistake is going to become really apparent on the palate. It's hard to hide your mistakes with a light beer. Willy Brew does a certified gold as their flagship beer, which is a Budweiser-ish. It's your American lager.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it's good. It's a Budweiser. But to do a light beer, it takes so much work and dedication and cleanliness and control that you're not going to brew a light beer better than the big three can. Coors, Miller, Budweiser. I think it's a waste of time as a brewer who wants to make really good, really tasty beers to invest their time and energy on light beer. I think if that's the case, you might as well just put a 30 of Coors Light or Bud Light or Miller Light in your fridge for those people who are looking for that. I don't think you're going to be able to pull it off. Sure, American lager, of course. But to make it a light beer, that's hard. That's really hard to do.
That's a good point. I think you just swayed me. I think I'm on your side now. So
I'm still sticking by mine.
So he does have 2 more follow-up questions. So what are your favorite mass market non-light beers?
Mass market. Oh, Michelob's Amber Bock.
Okay, I know. Chris, do you have one?
So he listed a few of his, and I think...
What did he list?
He listed UFO White, Sam Adams Cold Snap, and Magic Hat number 9. So, and 2 of those 3, just for the information for the audience, are just I'm fairly certain just Northeast. So,
yeah, I don't know if I would. That wasn't what I was thinking when I came up with my answer.
Yeah, because I assume you would say like Sierra Nevada Pale Ale,
sure,
or something.
Yep, that's what exactly what I would say.
Yeah,
like Sierra Nevada Torpedo is really good.
I mean, I'm thinking of like Ballast Point Victory at Sea. That's pretty good.
It's a good one.
Good one for me.
Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin.
Is the question just what's the best nationally distributed beer in your mind?
It says favorite mass market non-light beers.
Yeah, but how are you guys interpreting the question?
Something that's mass market. I mean,
you can get anywhere.
I think nationally distributed is important.
Yeah.
So,
like you could say, like Obert. This is a good example for you to say Elysian Space Test.
Yeah, that'd be up there. That would be up there. I think not as high as Sierra Nevada, but
I think I'd either say Shock Top, because I really like Shock Top, or Ballast Point Grapefruit Sculpin.
Okay, yeah, those are good. Those are good ones. I'll stick with my Victory at Sea. I like that one. I haven't had it in a minute, but it's good. It's good. And then the last one is, where do you see the craft beer explosion going in the future? Do you think breweries are becoming too prevalent / is the market oversaturated?
Very good question. Something that has always been on the edges of our discussion when we talk about breweries, but we haven't gotten into that topic yet. I'll say in Montana, it's interesting because we have, I believe, 14 breweries in a valley with 100,000 people in it, which I think is a lot. I think it's hard to sustain that population, but I also think that breweries are becoming the new place to hang out. And we don't have any breweries here that brew expensive beers. And by that, I mean like the Tree Houses, the Beard, the Fox Farm, the places that are going to sell you a 20-ounce or $20 4-pack. We don't really have anything like that. And I think that something like that could really take off in Montana.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that they're becoming the new... Breweries are the new bars. Our parents' age, their parents, for as long as bars and pubs have existed, that's been the gathering place. I think what you're seeing now is more, hey, let's go to the brewery, there's a food truck there, we'll hang out there. More so than, hey, let's go down to, Joe's Pub and get a beer and a burger. I think what you're seeing is a shift in people's preferences that they want to hang out at a brewery versus hang out at a bar. The brewery they can go to, they know if they like it or they want to experience something new. They can hang out there. There's usually lawn games that you really don't get at a bar. So you can play Bago, or you can play Giant Connect 4, or different, Jumbling Tower, those types of things at a brewery that you can't do at a bar. Do I think the market's really oversaturated? Possibly. I haven't seen many breweries fail, though.
That's true.
So, a sign of market saturation would be a large amount of breweries opening, and then others closing, or the same ones that just opened closing. And it hasn't happened yet. I think that there are some breweries, at least in the state of Connecticut, that I think should close. But at the same time, every time I've gone there, they're packed. So who am I to say?
It's working. It's clearly working for them.
Yeah, it's working for them. I mean, and then you go to some of the best breweries in the state, and they're completely empty. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it speaks a lot when we talk about, and we talked about many breweries on this podcast, where you go to OEC for your sours, you go to Treehouse for your wait in line delicious beers, you go to Black Hog if you want subpar beers, you go to New England Brewing Company for like those old style favorites. I think I personally believe, I think they are becoming too prevalent, and that sounds sacrilegious on this podcast, because in Clarksville alone, I can think of 5 or 6 breweries, and like Clarksville isn't that big, and in Nashville there's like probably like 20 just in Nashville. So it's, but
if you think about it this way, how many bars are in Clarksville?
I don't even know. I know of a handful, but I don't know of that many.
Would you say that there's more bars than breweries?
I don't know. I've only been to one bar in Clarksville, but I've been to all the breweries. So I mean, I guess that's one thing. But I think they're, when you go on Untappd and you see that there's over a billion, like however many beers there are, that's, how are you supposed to complete your Pokedex if they keep opening new breweries? I mean, I love it. It's just, it's getting to the point where you have to like fight with yourself about, hey, where are we going to go? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just an old dad talking, but
no, I think we're just starting to touch on the conversation here. And I think that it's something for us and the audience to think about.
Okay. So that clearly got a little bit more out of hand than we thought. So, but I just want to do quick update before the handles. As the beer warmed up, my Guru Gish from Mantra Artisan Ales, it was a lot better. It was way more smooth than when it was cold. So that was probably my bad more so than anything. So just
that's good. That's a good brew. Good follow up.
Yeah, I know everybody was on the edge of their seats, when they heard me give my rating, but it made it a lot more enjoyable. I think I'd only bump it up maybe a quarter point. I could be persuaded for a 4 if they sent me free beer, but
Until
think I'm
then,
gonna
it's
leave
a
it.
375.
Yeah, until then it's 375. Wink, wink.
By the way, we can be bought.
Yes, as we said in I think one of our first episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm all for buy. I mean, if the worst brewery in the state wants to pay me off, I will rate their beers a 5.
That's where our loyalty
You
lies.
heard it.
It's free
You
beer,
heard
people.
it here, Stony Creek. I mean,
It's definitely the worst beer I've had in the state is definitely a beer that I've had in the past month.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So you it's up to you. People write in. Let us know what beer that was. But anyways, it is that time of the episode finally, because it's been a long one this week, and where we leave you with our 3 handles on our Frosty Mug of Wisdom. We give you something to look into, look forward to, improve your life, a new motto to live the rest of your days by.
Yeah.
And who wants that first handle?
well, I don't have Hakuna Matata 2, but I will take the handle. I will take the mug first. I'm currently reading a book by Aziz Ansari titled Modern Romance. You guys know who Aziz is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's an Indian American comedian, and
He was on Parks and Rec.
he was on Parks and Rec. His parents were part of an arranged marriage, and he grew up in America doing normal American dating habits. And this book is all about the difference between, like, looking at the evolution of dating from what his parents had to do, which, and like I said, he's a comedian, stand-up comedian, so he talks about, like his dad met 3 women before he decided to get married. The first one was too short, the second one was too tall, the third one was Aziz's mom, who his dad has been married to for 30 years, right? So he talks about how we've gone from a marriage system like that to now where it's so easy to find people to date. And even if you're not someone who is like necessarily our age or single or anything like that, I did really appreciate this book for what it had to offer. I'm still reading it right now, but he partners with a sociologist from NYU. Eric Kleinberg is the person's name, and they did a bunch of research on what it's like to be dating in America, especially in a city today. And I just got a big kick out of it because I think Aziz is funny. It's easy to read the book in his tone of comedy, and I really enjoy it. So that's my handle for this week: Aziz Ansari's Modern Romance.
Nice. Yeah, I can happily say that I'm glad I don't have to deal with dating.
Yeah, but I'll reiterate, even if I was someone who wasn't dating, I think it'd still be a good read.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's good. I'll go next. So my handle this week is a game that just came out on the Nintendo Switch called Tetris 99.
Oh, I heard about this. It's free,
I've
right?
heard of that too.
It is a free game. It's in the same vein as like a Fortnite or PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds or Apex Legends, which is the new one.
Meaning it's a battle royale.
It's a battle royale with 99 people, and you play Tetris against each other.
So 99 people enter, and there's one winner.
Correct. And the better you are at Tetris, the better you're going to place. The more lines you complete in Tetris, the more lines you send out to other people and make them sabotage their game. The more Tetrises that you get, even more lines you set up. You have to battle when people are sending you lines back. It's just a really fun game. It's really quick. Sometimes the games can take 10 seconds because you just get absolutely destroyed in the middle or the beginning of the game, and other times it lasts a really long time. It's a lot of fun. Anybody who has a Nintendo Switch, go download it right now.
I think it's available for other platforms too, right?
I think it's on Steam.
Okay.
I don't think it's on Xbox or PS4, but go check it out. I've been playing it on the Switch. It is one of my favorite games at the moment.
Nice. I've been meaning to get into that. Can I play with you, Todd?
Of course.
I mean, like,
I don't.
Does it work that way?
You know what? I don't have any friends on the Switch, so I don't know.
Okay, so we'll play together if that's a thing. If it's not, well, we'll pretend.
Yeah. I'll download it too, and we can all Tetris it up. So.
And Tetris is fun. I mean, Tetris is one of my favorite, like, old school games.
I mean, yeah, everybody loves Tetris.
Yeah, it's been around for 40 years?
Yeah. That and Pong.
Yep.
All right, Chris.
So Chris,
what do you got?
Okay, so last handle this week is something that ties in with what I talked about a little bit last week. So since I've been addicted to Twitch, I found this Twitcher called A Drive.
Tweecher, right?
Tweecher. Yeah, he tweeches. A Drive. He does primarily Pokemon stuff, so that's kind of what I've been playing.
Is twitching like twerking?
No, it's tweeching. And anyways, this is old, but on YouTube, if you go to A Drive and subscribe to his channel, he has this Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire randomized Nuzlocke shiny race run against another Tweecher.
I love the idea of. So I understood every one of those words.
I don't understand a damn word of what just came out of your mouth.
I'm pretty sure that 90% of our audience is in Tud's shoes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are Pokemon games, and A Drive and this other guy, they got a copy of it hacked somehow, that completely randomizes every facet of the game, including Pokemon types, Pokemon movesets, what they learn, etc., etc. So
you could have like a Metapod that knows Earthquake and is flying type.
Exactly. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep. So what they're doing is, and I'm on episode I think 5 right now, and what they're doing is they're racing, and they can only use shinies, which is basically just a different color sprite that they get for whatever Pokemon they catch. So they have to it's insane. It's crazy because
I don't understand still any of these words.
Yeah,
okay.
you won't, and like Obert said, 90% of the people won't. But if you're interested in Pokemon and you like watching stuff like that, head over to A Drive's YouTube channel and check it out because it's a lot of fun. I'll put links in the show notes to the first one. And
can I sum it up and say that to the 10% of our audience that understood all of those words, and to the other 10% of our audience that is curious and likes to enjoy random things, check it out.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. So
I fully plan on buying the Pokemon game when it comes out for the Switch, but I don't understand what we're talking about right now.
That's why it's fun to watch, because it's that random.
Right, it really is.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead and check it out. I'll put links to the show notes. But it's the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Nuzlocke randomizer shiny race or something like that. So it rolls right off the tongue.
Todd, have you ever seen the movie Rat Race?
Is that with Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Yes.
This is that, but a video game version.
Okay. I didn't like that movie.
Okay. Then don't take Chris's handle and drink from it.
Okay. I will not. So with that, thank you all for listening this week. We'd like to thank the breweries, we'd like to thank the places that provided today's drinks. I'll go first with thanking Old Glory Distillery for Smooth Shine Blueberry and Lemonade flavored moonshine.
I'd like to thank Mantra Artisan Ales for their Imperial Guru Gish.
And I'm going to thank Sunrift for the Supernova, the delicious Belgian triple I'm drinking tonight.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped at DAWF Podcast. On Instagram, we are still running that contest. Once we reach 1,000 followers, we will do a drawing for beers from Montana to be shipped to the winner. So go on Instagram if you haven't already and like and follow us. Once we get to 1,000, we'll announce it on the pod, and we'll do the whole thing like we did at 500. Hashtag follow the email with your comments, questions, general thoughts, concerns, hatred, what you had for breakfast. As Obert always says, he doesn't like it, but
yeah,
he actually did like the random one we got today, as did I.
Fair. Fine.
We also like anything that you're going to send in that really compliments me. I really appreciate that as well. Make sure you let us know if you want stickers. We've been placing them around. Also, we've started up a new thing on Instagram where every Wednesday, 2 of us hop on and do an Instagram live to kind of hype up the episode, but also, announce beers that are coming out that week and just have a general quick conversation, usually around 20 minutes to a half hour. You can watch it up to 24 hours after we do it, so make sure you're logging in either on Wednesday to watch us live, and we'll talk to you and interact with you there, or watch it thereafter. That way you just stay in the loop. Something else that we offer. Definitely helps for the people who are in Connecticut, Montana, and Tennessee to discuss beer releases that week too.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed the first few, so I'm excited. I look forward to it every Wednesday now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really, really, really like it. It's just a different medium for you guys to interact with us. And then
if you like how sexy Ted's voice is, just wait till you see him on Instagram Live.
Right. The past 2 episodes, it's been Chris and myself doing it, and then Obert was in the chat for one of them. I'm sure we'll switch it up going forward as need be. But keep an eye out for that. It's usually around 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Adjust that going backwards across the country. I'm not going to do that math for you guys. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you're going on iTunes, give us a rating, and leave a review. The more ratings and reviews we get, the higher we move up the ranks, the more people will find us. It's really helpful for us, guys, so just make sure you're doing that. I know you guys leave a lot of comments on our Facebook, on Instagram. Make sure you're going over there and just doing one more thing. I know it's a pain in the ass, but it really works for us. And anything else, guys?
So Jenna is going to be joining us again. I think we talked about it on the Instagram Live, but she will be on the episode that airs on March 14th. So all the Jenna fans out there, you'll hear her lovely voice again. So please, she's
substituting in for me. I'm gonna be MIA.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in another episode, but
maybe next episode we'll go more in depth with that. But
the one before, you're not going to be here. And so with that, my name's Ted.
My name's Chris.
My name's Mr. Oscar. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Oh man, I'm so excited that we share the podcast with Mr. Oscar this year.
Hey,
yeah, I didn't know that.
Get out of my trash can.
Yeah, when did they let you know? We didn't react at all on the podcast.